Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from Dreamhack Masters Semi-Finals of Fall 2020. 2 of the next generation. And probably, so far, the best generation in Starcraft 2. Some of the youngest players, the fastest players. And as time goes on, potentially the strongest players. We're going to be watching them from their perspective, seeing what they see, of course, from replays. And we're just going to, desperately try to keep up. Let me first introduce, though. In the bottom right, from Team Liquid, the French Terran player. It's Clem. The Zerg. On the other side, the Slayer of Cyril. But can he become even more? Coming into his own, even younger than Cyril. I think he's 18 now. I think both of them are. With routinely over 600 actions per minute. Yes. Routinely. It's terrifying. It's Reynor. From Team Clash. I'm going to attempt to flip between their perspectives. We'll be able to see. Now, of course, in the game, as you know, they can't see the production tab, the supplies of their opponent. That's to help us keep up. We'll be able to see what they're selecting, how they're moving, what they're looking at. And I'm going to try to keep up and break down why they're doing what they're doing and what's going on. But I'll be honest, even for me, I've been Grandmaster before as each race. These guys, to me, are like me to a platinum player. It's hard to really respect and understand the difference between the true bleeding edge of StarCraft players and someone who's just pretty good sometimes. And, well, let's start with the man, everyone knew going into this year, Reynor, he was going to be strong. How strong? I mean, he was a world finalist. He beat Cyril how many times, including in this tournament. But Clem is the real, I think the biggest story, probably, of 2020, just throughout the year. As Clem was, I think he had some kind of live tournament nerves. And since the Defilers cast Plague across the world and most tournaments are held online, he can play from a comfortable setup. He can play like the terrifying beast he is. And that's really, really helped him. You see that a lot in younger players who don't have as much tournament experience or are just, let's be honest, we were all teenagers once. And you're like, well, Winter, I'm 17. Well, you're definitely not most of my demographic, my 31-year-old Californian friends. But and it's easy to get stressed out in a live tournament. But Clem, this year, has gone from someone who could beat anyone, but probably going to lose to people like Cyril and Reynor, to one of the biggest threats in the world. He can beat anyone. That includes Cyril, that includes Reynor, that includes Koreans. There is no one on the list that Clem cannot beat. Doesn't mean he necessarily will. But he's at that level, and I'm excited to see it. I spent 4 minutes talking about how these guys are pretty good. Let's actually watch the game here. Don't worry, trust me, we'll have plenty of game to watch. Clem has some of the best, he defines right now, even more, I'd say, I guess Maru doesn't play many tournaments but GSL. Be on his back as well, but in GSL, we get a lot more opportunities to see Clem really show off how disgusting bio could be if I knew how to micro. If I had the speed, the agility, I don't know any of the muscle names in your fingers, and it's kind of a little weird, but
reporting for action.
His control is just ridiculous. And if you're a Terran player looking to learn, don't pay attention to what's happening up here, by the way. Down here is where you want to look. The control groups, when he's doing things that aren't on the screen. That's what a lot of people miss, especially with your more professional casts. A lot of people miss what's happening behind the scenes or during the scenes of all the insane micro and control. Like, there are some diamond players who could replicate a lot of the micro, but the macro at the same time is what really ties the whole thing together. Medevac drop trying to come in. He attempted the Golden Wall Hellion drop, which is a little cliche at this point, trying to drop Hellions on some of those weird gaps, as Golden Wall is a bit more of a creative map than your standard cookie cutter. Which third am I going to take today? And then I'm going to take the fourth at the other one, and that's how the map works. Like, essentially, Acropolis impersonators. 1-1 on the way. Reynor a little bit quicker.
Research.
He is getting a later lair, though. Usually the trade-off for Zerg is... No, we're focusing on Terran, but the trade-off for Zerg is whether or not you go for quick mutas nowadays and get a little later 1-1, or you start with 1-1 and then you fill in the tech later. Usually, if you don't take economic damage, you focus on the upgrades. But for Terran, honestly, as long as Clem doesn't lose a significant amount of these early Hellions, he's already scouted how many queens there are. He knows from his incursions into the main, the timing of the lair. He's going to take the Golden Wall base, if you would. Something to note, he's got his engineering base hotkeyed on his command center hotkey, which allows him to just tab through and get his upgrades. Just a little tiny detail that saves a couple seconds. And a couple seconds for these guys is about 50 more actions sometimes, so... You never know what those couple seconds, they could decide the game. That's no exaggeration here. Medevac drop heading north. Liberator south. We're actually going to flip over to the Reynor cam momentarily here. See what he's looking for. As Reynor's playing defense right now, he's got 4 bases. He's already got the top left. The creep spread. We're only 7 minutes in. He's got it spread across the whole map, but Clem looking to challenge that. The Queen's holding back. Getting targeted down, though. Brenda! What are you... Oh, well, actually, she's fine. Reynor had it under control. What are we saying? Instant reaction to the Liberator. Still has to draw some drones away. Clem counter-reacts there. The Spore looking for an opportunity. Brings Queens back. Ling's already in position to block to the north. Another attack towards the center as well. Drop is picked up and brought back. The Queen's pulled back. Oh my god, he didn't lose a drone. Reynor, though, banking a little money with no tech on the way. He's struggling on injects. Well, part of it is he has 89 drones. So 89 drones will get you, it will bank you a little money. But he's going to want to add some more hatches on here soon. It looks like it's going to be mostly focused on Clem aggression, and everybody loves watching that Terran aggression. We're sitting at a balmy 450 versus 360 average APM. Zerg simply makes more units in terms of Zerglings, so they have a little more APM at the highest level, especially with these unit compositions. But I expect that number on both sides to go up.
Ready for dust off.
Clem setting up a multi-prong attack. So you can kind of tell how the game is going in TVZ based on the creep. If the creep is pushing towards the Terran spaces, the Zerg is winning. If it's pushed back to the Zerg spaces, the Terran's winning. If it's right down the center, it's anyone's game. It's not a 100% rule, but it gives you a general gist at the top level. Right here, Clem is holding the exact center of the map. He's pressing forward. He's trying to get some aggression done. But Reynor waiting. Clem knows if he goes too far onto the creep, a few dozen Banelings are ready to smash into his Marines. Zergling slipping by. +2/+2 on the way for both sides. Reynor's going to finish his a little bit quicker. Spore Crawler taken down. Pick up with all the Marines. Also finds a nice position in the bottom left. He uses the mini-map to see when he needs to pull back. He's got multiple hotkeys for his medevacs. I wonder what he uses for his 0 key. I've been hearing about these mouse buttons from Angry Coach. Meanwhile, some Hellbats were holding their ground, denying the Zerglings. Well, what an awkward drop. Clem thinks so as well. I'm not sure. Just a handful of Zerglings. The reinforcements are there. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. Hive Tech is on the way. I'm not sure Clem has a beat on that, though that's not a huge factor. Actually, Reynor, one of the few players who uses lurkers in this matchup, and he uses them to great effect. I don't know why more people don't use lurkers, but Reynor's lurkers just seem to do twice as much damage as anyone else. I'm not sure why. It's probably because he actually micros them. Meanwhile, though, Clem brings some reinforcements, but he loses track of a drop. Gets smashed here, but going in towards the center. Spots the lurkers on the way. He's got 2 tanks at a time. Already +1 mech weapons. Guns down a couple queens. Double kill. Looking for more. He's got 4 bases so far, and he got a 5th command center. +2/+2 is done. Will we see 3-3 started for either side? Sensor tower is on the way.
Additional supply depots.
Additional supply depots required. Clem thinks you max out at 188. What a diamond leaguer. Meanwhile, the tank being used, the Marines sacrificed on the altar of friendly fire to be able to hit all of those Zerglings that were closing the distance. We're up 480 to 380 APM. And it just, there's more and more and more to control. Ghost Academy's on the way. +3 attack. Seismic Spines. +1 ranged attack. +3 Carapace coming in. There's a drop apparently from Reynor. Will Clem see it on the minimap? He saw it on a sensor tower, but you're not really expecting a drop right now. You're not really expecting a drop right now, but he already had units in position? Who does that? He didn't. I think he got the Overlord before it dropped a second Baneling and actually got kills. Splits and stims to kill lurkers. He's out microing the lurkers. The one Marine. Calm down, Flash. Another double drop headed north, keeping the pressure on up north and also sending a drop south. Full-fledged, full-front assault right now from Clem. Reynor holding strong, but he's going to be looking for counterattack damage here. Clem heading north. The double drop is still threatening that southern base. He's going to drop it out a little earlier. What's happening down there? Oh, he sent a couple Marines. Wait, did he queue up a couple Marines ahead? Maybe at some point I'll go back. I think he shift queued out of the medevac, which I actually forgot how to do. I always screw it up. Or I always used to screw it up, but he just... Oh, Blinding Cloud's pretty devastating. Great split and stim, though. He's stimming, and he is winning. The lurkers are unprotected, and suddenly Clem just guns them down, but Reynor, he has plenty of money. Let's switch to the Reynor cam here. Rolling in the cash. You might think Clem was putting on a lot of pressure. Reynor's brushing it off. 4,200, 4,000, 2,000 in the bank. He's maxed down. He's just looking for a way to put damage on Clem now. He's holding the line, and Clem is not allowing him to breathe. But Reynor has somehow... He's got 95 drones! He doesn't have enough mineral patches for 95 drones, the way Clem's playing. A dozen... I don't know how many lurkers. There's a Liberator now. A dozen drones die. Reynor just tilted over 500 APM. Clem looking at 400. 9 lurkers on the way. I'm not sure how many are on the field. Drop in the main. Yanks a tank. Shreds it with the lurkers. Lurker drops are coming in. Make Starcraft 2 Brood War again. Wait, what was in there? Hey, well, it's dead now. There are plenty of Hydra Slings and Banes. Reynor's a little surprised to see it too. Lurker on the other side, but the Hydras come around to deal with it. I believe they have range? No range. A little bit of an oversight there, but the lurker drops are coming in. Clem pushing forward. He has a few ghosts with this. The ghosts for sniping lurkers here. A real opportunity, and they're not so bad against Zerglings themselves. What are you going to do? He's trying to figure out whether he wants a Blinding Cloud. Meanwhile, though, the gold base. Well, the lurkers are sieging up. 2 of us can play Double Nidus! Well, that's one way to get around the map if Clem isn't letting you break through the front. Meanwhile, though, a few ghosts go down, but Clem pushing into this base. There's like a Venn diagram of freedom, stopping the Hydras from moving forward into what's left of the gold. But lurkers on the production line! Every Marine and Marauder that comes out of those racks gonna feel the pain. Reynor working through. I have no idea what he wants to do with those Nidus networks. I'm not sure he has a plan for them, but he's looking for options right now. Both sides are maxed out, but still doing devastating damage to one another. Oh, the Liberator. How is there always a Liberator? How does that happen? Yeah, Reynor finding out that Lings don't indeed fly despite their wings, which seems like a design flaw, Abathur. Vipers looking for things to consume that aren't vulnerable hatcheries. Oh, no, 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 no! A moral victory on that lurker. I can't believe he went to save it. He spent more than a second on it, which is a long time for Reynor here. Lurkers moving forward. There's not that much bio in front. Ducks their faces into the sand, but has to move back. Uses the lurker for a nidus. Gonna bring the reinforcements through behind enemy lines. Unless Clem's able to respond in time. The boys are pulled. The lurker helping. Another nidus. Down it goes. Liberator top left. Sporecaller moves into position. Another one towards the center. Drone's not mining right now. Clem putting on a lot of pressure, but he's caught. Insane blinding cloud. Put your glasses on, Clem. You can't see why kids love the taste of cinnamon toast blinding cloud. Meanwhile, the drones go back to mining in the top left. I'm not sure if the Liberator was taken out. One Viper has gone down. Both players still pretty high on supply. 520 to 400 APM. Clem starting to stumble a little. We're going back to the Clem cam. Loses one very important medevac. Ghosted it, but he has reestablished. Wow, Clem has a lot of economy right now. His income is actually, well, that's Reynor. That's Reynor the whole time. That's been Reynor the whole time. Kind of tells the story, but it's tilting back towards Clem as Reynor's actually starting to lose bases and drones, and Clem is finally holding on to his more forward bases. Hydrazlings. This base is a little superfluous right now. It's not a position you want to lose. You don't want to be vulnerable from your own high ground, but there's not many more minerals and there's no more gas left here, so he's not too worried about it. Factory goes down. Clem not able to max out. Lurker shredding! Oh, some more at the back here. Working their way through. Ghost gonna do their best. Clem feeling the pain right now. Anitis. Lings on the tanks. Reynor splits them off. Acceptable losses. Reynor still has money in the bank. Clem, he kept the pressure on. It was like trying to contain a river, a flood, and he held it back. But at some point, it trickled through, and that opened up an opportunity for more and more and more, and Reynor will not stop. He cannot stop. Nidus is everywhere. Lurkers, Lings, it's a horror movie. Screams off and on screen. The Lurkers are chasing. He picks up into the medevac. Oh, EMP fadeaway hit. But how you gonna stop all this? The Lurkers just dunked down. He's on the high ground. Clem retreats to the last. Reynor's everywhere that's not currently mining. Right in the center, but is there any way Clem can work through this? He's sniping as much as he can, but he's losing SCVs to the south. He's got nothing else to pressure on the other side. Reynor is able to focus all his significant efforts on this attack. A few lurkers. He's running out of scans as well. The Liberators are helping Clem somehow patching together a defense. And I can't believe it, but he's not dead yet. It's not looking great, though. If you're not able to at least distract Reynor, if he can focus on the attack, oh god. I don't believe there's cloak. Yeah, there's no cloak at the moment. The upgrades are just getting better for Reynor. Clem hasn't been able to counterattack for several minutes now. He's been desperately trying to keep his own house in order. Finding some of these. Reynor looking for the killing blow now. The shark smells blood, and there's much of it spilled. Terran blood, to be specific. Alright. To the Reynor cam. Oh my god. He just has all of the bases. He just does. Here's a Nidus. You get a Nidus. And you get a Nidus. And everybody gets a Nidus. 540 APM. There is a single Liberator. And another one. The Liberator's helping to defend. But Reynor just crashes through. He can expend banelings at this stage. Hydras get behind the Liberator. Looking for more opportunities, heading north. He has Vipers back at home, back to mining, perfectly fine. 18 SCVs go down. A key base has been removed as well. Reynor is mining from the... What is the income right now? That Clem for a second, as he killed a couple of the bases a few minutes back. But no longer. 90 to 56 workers, which actually means Clem's army supply is significantly larger right now. It's just he can't allocate it all in the right spot to do the damage. What happened to the lurkers, though? Without lurkers, the army supply of Clem can actually be brought to bear relatively effectively. I mean, the Niduses definitely don't hurt. That many banelings hurt mostly the Terran. Did he just burrow? Did he just burrow? Clem saw it. He scanned. We're going for burrow bane mines. Reynor getting fancy. The double Nidus pops out units twice as quick. It doesn't matter if it's an Ultra or a Zergling. It comes out at the same speed, much to the Nidus' dismay. Reynor's like, well, I need to replace these drones, otherwise I won't be able to reach 100 by the end of the game. But Clem has somehow stabilized. Another round of banelings. Is that enough? Wow, by that exact number. Maybe one or two extra. There was only one Hydra to take out that Liberator. More lurkers on the way. Reynor winding up for a multi-pronged assault. How does Clem defend? Solid amount of reinforcements there. He just killed an orbital. Found an opportunity on Clem's high ground. Drags in, but it's EMP'd as well. Dragging, he just hit a Marauder with that, a little off target. There needs to be a scan from Clem. Zergling counterattack. Precious few SCVs left to lose. There's a drop behind the lines. Another orbital. Double Nidus. Reynor can't run out of money even if he tries. Clem is, like, the supplies are maintaining. Like, Clem's army supply is still good. But how does he ever... The only way Clem can hold on here... Reynor has actually lost 7,000 more resources. There is a scenario where Reynor actually runs out of money. We're still like 5 or 6 minutes out from that point, though. Before he's down to 1, maybe 2 bases left instead of 4. If Clem can hold on, he has been mining less overall. Look, graphs. So... Since Reynor has taken none of his bases, I can do the basic math that says if Clem holds long enough, eventually he'll have more money. Oh my god! The target fire! He just targeted like 7 banelings! Okay, Clem cam. So it is. We're going to the kill cam. Alright, someone gets a bunch of kills, go to their cam. Oh my god. But Clem is able to counterattack. He's just running out of steam. He's running out of income. He's running out of workers. And he's running out of hope. I don't know about that one, but I'd assume so. It's how has he held on thus far? Are you going to target it down? Goes for a couple lurkers. More valuable than the hatch. Won't kill the hatch, though. Gets out with some of his units. But Reynor, the swarm is endless. The Zerglings don't stop coming. Parasitic bombs, this feels like the end. I like how, to punctuate the very end of the match, a couple Nidus screams to really wrap it all up for us. And that was game 1. I think Clem, it really did feel like Clem was holding up, desperately holding back the swarm. But then a couple, like a couple drops, like the lurker drops, brought back some army supply. Clem lost his grip on the center of the map, and Reynor just came streaming over the hills like it's the heart of the swarm trailer. And it did kind of, without the ultras, because Reynor's not dumb. Unlike Kerrigan. What a noob. Wow. What a game. Game 2. I think seeing the speed of them playing, and of course, always give your feedback and leave a comment and get that YouTube engagement and like and subscribe. But seeing the way they play in first person really highlights the difference between us and the superhumans. Jimmy! Can we update the score? What do you mean it looks like a cast from 2012? What do you mean we just had the default interface and people just wrote on the screen? I don't believe you. It's not in potato graphics. Alright, there you go. Bring up the nameplate. Okay, not the nameplates. Oh my god. Alright. Who are we gonna watch for the first 10 minutes? Where's my coin of RNGs? Alright, everyone. For this game, we're going to follow someone for the first 10 minutes, assuming it takes more than 10 minutes. Here you have the Blizzard logo and the Starcraft logo. We'll give Blizzard logo to Reynor, and then Clem will get the Starcraft logo. Reynor it is. Reynor last game, we were looking at Clem most of the early game. But, wow, it's terrifying watching Clem. Watching from Clem's perspective, and not watching Clem. Clem is very scary, but Reynor made him look like the Heart of the Swarm trailer, rather. Like, the Nidus is popping up next to Marines. Banelings rolling through. Oh my god. Reynor's one of the only people, him and Cyril maybe, that can make Clem look like he's outclassed there. Except the thing is, we've seen Clem games on the other side, where the Zerg is desperate, like where use your words, okay. Where the Zerg is just bursting at the seams, ready to overrun the Terran at any moment. But we've also seen when the Zerg is desperately trying to get their hatchery up. But the drop just comes in at the worst time, every single time. And you send like 8 banelings at it, and they all get targeted down. And it's like, well, what is Zerg supposed to do? I can't micro Zerglings like Marines. And Reynor says, hold my adrenal glands. We'll see if Reynor gets the pressure put to him. Now, this is something I always say, the angry coach thing, is watch the Overlords. Overlords are something you can copy, because Overlords are the one thing that Reynor and Cyril both have that you, my friend, you, with 1/3 of their MMR and APM. Oh, that's generous. Can also copy. So Reynor brought his Overlord behind the back of the natural in towards the main. Oftentimes players will try to hide tech there. By the way, why are these Hellions here? And he essentially snuck it around. There are only some maps you can get behind the natural. There's dead airspace where ground units can't threaten. Wow. These Hellions. Clem's just doing... This is what we lovingly refer to as a donkey strat. where you just kind of send the Hellions in and pray that they didn't make too many Zerglings. Yeah, Reynor brought his Overlord in to the back of the main, where usually an armory or a fusion core will be located. But didn't see anything. Can't confirm for sure that there's nothing to see. He didn't go Overlord speed. The rest of his Overlords are forming... Like, look at this. Look where he moved his Zerglings. He moved them to the one spot he doesn't have Overlord vision. Now he's looking for a counterattack, but... Reynor is filling in the gaps. The map is dark and full of Terrans, as we know. Especially against Clem. So, Overlords are slowly moving into a perimeter. I mean, Overlords are moving at their best speed, okay? Don't shame them. Don't they have an upgrade? We don't have the gas for that. Here come more Hellions, though. The Queen's dragged out of position. Reynor tries to get in, but Clem stuffs him at the gate. Couple Evo chambers there. The Queens will clean up the Liberator. Few more drones, but here comes another round of Hellions. Evo chambers and engineering bays in nearly identical moments. 2 more racks on the way for Clem, but Reynor doesn't know that there's still the ambiguity. It could be mech. I don't think... Like, Clem doesn't play mech very much because he's too damn good at micro. Yeah, that was subtle. But I think Reynor is assuming here it's going to be another Wingbane versus a bio match. That's not an unsafe, especially when you see the Liberator early. Usually if you're going to go mech, it's like a Banshee or a Battlecruiser or something like that. Also, at this point, he's seen enough Marines to... Not 100% a tell, but it's like 87.4 repeating percent chance. So now we've gotten to see Reynor with a few more gaps in the armor here. So... There was a Liberator circle out there. The reason you do that is not so much because you're going to siege up the mountain and eventually be able to bring it down when you finally get that advanced ballistics upgrade. No, it's so that you don't accidentally move the Liberator or it doesn't get moved by a queen shot into more queen shots or something like that. Layer is complete. Give me my mutas. I want mutas. I want to see mutas, Reynor. Reynor loves me. Thank you. I'm going to take that personally. Building the Spire. Now, mutas can be sometimes a muta risk. But the mutalist, if you're able to get a 3-base economy pretty comfortably, especially against someone who's drop heavy. Last game, Reynor didn't go mutas. I think that might have been slightly map dependent. I'm not sure. Maybe he just felt comfortable going for, like, straight to lurker play. But Hydras are kind of figured out. If you can't go to the lurkers early, then mutas have actually had a resurgence. And I think Reynor is one of the few people... Oh, what a huge counterattack. Baneling speed is just now starting. This is going to get wild here. This game could end very quickly if something goes wrong for either side. Here come the Banelings. Clem's not going to miss. Clem doesn't miss. But at the same time, the counterattack doing a lot of damage. That's a lot of Terran pressing through. 1-1 is done on both. Oh, where did the Banelings go? They're gone! The Banelings are gone! There's nothing left! Reynor stuffed again at the natural. There's still Marines. There's no other units. Slow Banelings? What a joke! Don't come at Clem with that weak shit right there. He just targeted them down. Reynor looks back. Banelings are gone. So are his drones. Clem has his aimbot at full capacity. And he snipes that tumor, losing one very unhappy Marine. Still, Reynor had 63 drones, but he had to replace it. Clem at full swing. That Liberator comes back. Reynor struggling. That Liberator waited for its moment. Finally found it. Any amount of time that Reynor is not focusing on this army is important. You see him struggling. Now this is the opposite of last game. Instead of Reynor ready to break through, it's Clem forcing him to bend and nearly break. The Spire is done, but Reynor can't find the space to get the mutas out. The Baneling nest is vulnerable. Here come the Reynor pulls back the veins. Oh, he knows. Now, as they drop out, it's harder. Yeah, Clem knows when he can and when he can't. One of the most important things, I'm going to take this time, it reminds me of Rocket League. One of the most important things with Ling Bane and a counter Ling Bane micro is knowing when you can target and when you can't. Like, when you are going to take a fight you can win, and when you're not confident. And making that decision quickly. So many times we see Terrans take a fight, miss 2 Banelings, and then lose a bunch of Marines. Clem rarely does that. Here comes Clem. Reynor, will he look back? He's building so many Banelings. The splits are amazing. We're about to reach that 10-minute mark. I promised you the Reynor cam, but it may be time to switch it up. Right as now, Reynor strikes back. We're going to the Clem cam. Let's see the aimbot. Micro's back with the drops out of Metavex to split, because it's just easier that way. The Widowmine's still cloaked. The armory long done. Going for a 4th. Up 10 supply, which is a great sign against Mutiling Bane. Oh, picks up. Gets out. Might lose 1 medevac, but reinforcements. Drilling Claws done. Dunks him home. Drilling Claws no longer provide the cloak. The armory does, but it still burrows them. Much like the Lurker Burrow upgrade.
Upgrade complete.
Scanning for any other bases. Clem needs to know which bases to focus on. Does he need to send out more drops, or can he focus on the main attack? Main attack it is. Great Widowmine hit. There's a small counterattack, but Clem focusing on the splits. Mutas, mutas, mutas! I assume is the thought process there. Loses 10 SCVs. Reynor up against the wall, but clawing back. Oh, that's a lot of Banelings. Great. Oh my god. Even on creep, the thing is, there's the sheer amount of Banelings is not high enough. Especially with the upgrades. Reynor is down 1 upgrade here. Clem splits back, and then stims 4th. All the Banelings are down. He can stand his ground. The Muta's late to the party. Here come the Lings. That's not enough Lings! Okay, it might have been enough Lings. Clem pulls back in order to make his counterattack do more damage. There's a mine in the mineral line. If he gets the 4th, Reynor's nearly out of effective mining here. He'll be down to the 3rd. Another Widowmine shot. Takes a Muta. There's something at the back. I don't know what happened to it. I think it was a medevac, but it's gone now. Clem up 30 supply. More Banes. He even splits against that. If it's just Banes, you can just split the Marines and sacrifice them. It's almost always worth it. Gas for minerals is a pretty solid trade. 11 drones have gone down. That Widowmine is still in the mineral line. Another attack to the north, to the south. He's got reinforcements coming in up the center. +3/+3 starts. He knows Reynor, forced into this Mutiling Bane composition, can't tech up very quick. All he has to do is keep trading, and eventually those investments will pay off. Looking for more. That's it. Reynor just taps it out. Clem just laid on the pressure. Reynor bent and finally broke. From start to finish, Clem finding damage. Yeah, this is not a one-sided series. I don't know what prompted him to go with the Hellion run-by to start. Just sending the Hellions through the Queens. But it ended up being a big factor. And then just really kind of a similar way to how Reynor won Game 1. Less drawn out. With Terran, you can usually follow up any weakness a little quicker than Zerg, because Zerg needs to rebuild Banelings, whereas Medevacs and Widowmines facilitate just continued attacking. Clem setting up his first 4 camera locations there. I'm not going to criticize it like I would you gold Terrans that keep sending me your replays in Angry Coach. Oh, this is a best of 5, by the way, not a best of 3. Jimmy. Come on. Really? Are people reading anyways? That is a good point. This is the semifinals of Dreamhack. We'll play a best of 3. What are you smoking? You know what? I'm not dealing with that. We're on Eternal Empire. I'm feeling some Reaper micro this game out of Clem. I think Reynor is one of the only people who doesn't lose lings to Clem's Reapers. The amount of hotkeys here. I would love to know what he puts his 0 key on. Because I noticed he was using that for medevacs. Is he actually hitting the 0 key? Some people bind it. The one I like is spacebar. Some people have their World of Warcraft mice. And are like, no, it's a real idea. I put a bunch of control groups on my mouse.
Command center
I don't.
upgrade
Most
complete.
pros, in my experience, don't. But, wait, well, what is that SCV doing? What the hell is that SCV doing? Is that for a starport? And he sent it out before the Overlord got there. Why is he mining the minerals and then... I guess he wanted to do something. He just gets a drone kill. Like, he just kills a drone. How does he do it? I don't understand. What is this? Double factory. It's like he just shot at the drone, Winter. It's so easy. No, it's not that easy. I don't... This is a Korean barbecue build. Oh my god, 3 factory. What? What is straight out of Wings of Liberty here?
Command
Is this
center
gonna be
upgrade
a
complete.
cyclone timing, or is this just straight up Hellions? Oh, come on. No, not the tumor too. He decides... Oh. Wow, what a dodge. Just the quick jump up. If he had gotten that tumor, I would have been unhappy because that's illegal. He's gonna wall off the pseudo ramp and leave the more open area, but when you're going for this many Hellions, so this will decide it here. What does that tech lab research blue flame?
Complete.
Oh my god. Straight out of Wings of Liberty. Is this Slayer's Boxer or is it Clem? It's impossible to tell the difference. And is this Idra or is it Reynor?
Ready to plunder.
No. His name's not Ragenor. Wow, that didn't sound better in my head. And there's the armory. It's gonna be a blue flame Hellbat push.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
Like, I bet Reynor hasn't seen this before, but it feels like it hits so late that there might be the defenses anyways.
Dust off.
Ready to raise some.
Like, it's really late. Not so much like it's a bad timing, but it feels like Raynor's gonna have perfect, like a good opportunity to deal with it. There is a Baneling Nest on the way. It's not a quick Baneling Nest, it's just a Baneling Nest timed with the lair. But that is a lot of Hellions. Blue Flame is a couple seconds out. Blue Flame is all done. There's no Roach Warrant. You know, I don't know what I'm thinking here. Like, those are Blue Flame Hellbats. Those aren't babysitters. I don't know why I said it like that. Like, those aren't drone babysitters. Those aren't nice friends of the family. Those are Blue Flame Hellbats. That counterattack did way more damage than it ever deserved to do, but 14 drones are already dead because Reynor had a tough time. Clem gets the medevac out. The hatch just kind of dies. More drones will die. There's a Viking on the ground pretending to be a Blue Flame Hellbat, but it's not a Blue Flame Hellbat. Only Blue Flame Hellbats are Blue Flame Hellbats. Reynor's rebuilding drones. The hatch goes down essentially incidentally. The Banelings have arrived. Clem can't target fire down Banelings with Hellbats, right? This has been a lot of damage. If that counterattack didn't come through, then this game is already over for Reynor. But the counterattack was super important. It got enough SCVs to put this in doubt right now. That Liberator just doesn't care. Decides, well, now you can target fire. The Banes are off a creep. Oh, the transfusions on the Banes! 7 drones go down, though, I believe, to that Liberator. So now this... Where the hell are we right now? Shh. Where the hell are we? The Hellions... that was no puns intended, but I guess they are now. Reynor lost his third. The worker count is 46 to 41. That counterattack saved everything for Reynor. It killed 14 SCVs, which is enough, since there's not a third command center, to keep Reynor in it. I think Clem still has the initiative. He's actually going to bio now, which... I don't know. He didn't see this bio, right? Like, you can tell Clem wants to go bio. This was just the opener. Like, you'd think mech after Blue Flame Hellbats, but the Spire is done quite quick. There's already drilling claws on the way. Clem has no idea there's a Spire coming up. A lot of the creep cleared up despite, well, the Queen's creeping despite all the efforts earlier. Upgrade significantly quicker. Am I correct? He didn't get the, yeah, he didn't get one more. I don't know if Reynor... He has one Evo chamber, but hasn't really had the occasion to use it. That's a lot of Hellion stuff. The mutas are everything. We'll see what Clem does. He hasn't built any turrets. He's not expecting these mutas. I think he saw a lair. Oh, okay. Okay, everyone. Ah, mutas. They're coming! Well, he has mines. And he has an armory, obviously. So, you know what? The Muta's not nearly as much of a threat as you might think. I don't know how aware Reynor is of the possibility of mines, but not enough! Oh my god, hidden behind the refinery. Devastating damage. Those Mutas are no problem. The first wave, the most important wave of mutas, at least for a long while, just cut off at the flying knees. They don't have knees. Of all the things I could choose, we went with knees.
Base is under attack.
I assume there are some overseers on the way. Clem playing defense now. We're going to switch over to the Reynor cam for the muta pressure. He's got his 4th on the way. Once again, I can't stress enough. I think the one thing, like, when Reynor came onto the scene, when he finally was old enough to be allowed into WCS, where he almost beat Cyril in his first tournament. Like, 4-3 in an epic series. The thing people were talking about are Ling counterattacks. He always gets Lings in. It's been a couple years since then. But here we see again. I think I can say with confidence, if those Lings don't find that damage, this game was over like 5 minutes ago. 4. Whenever the Hellbats were doing their damage. There's no way Reynor stays on near even economic footing without that. Oh wow. a little off on that one. Baneling speed finally done. He's assuming that at the very edge of the creep is where the medevacs are. Pretty safe assumption with Clem. Where are they? He's wondering where they are. Like, if he feels it right now more than he sees it. You can just assume. Oh my god, the rapid fire creep spread, making it look instantaneous. Really, that was half a dozen actions in 0.1 seconds. Or less. Reynor at a casual 1,000 actions per minute as he builds up and sets up for, well, the solid mid-game now. It appears, despite Clem's best efforts, we found ourselves here. In the mid to late game, in the maxed out full armies, Reynor has gotten a comfortable mute account under a lot lighter pressure than the previous match. Clem has had to spend some time securing his base against these mutas. The one advantage for Clem that carries is +2/+2. He has a significant, a minute and a half or so window with a 2 upgrade advantage and a maxed out army. This is his moment. Let's see how he handles it. This is the best window he's going to get for a long while. What is that? The Marines say in the distance. I don't know how to say what is that in French, but whatever that is. Some Thors back at home, dealing with the Muta counterattack. Widow Mines buffering. A handful of mainlings. 2-2 is done. Now is the time for Clem. If you're going to attack, if you're going to put on pressure and really commit, this is the time to do it. He doesn't know exactly the timing on Reynor's upgrades, but forced to retreat. Too many banelings. Clem falling back. Reynor, he doesn't want to push too far off the creek, which is understandable. We've seen Clem aimbot on those banelings. The proxy factory that made everything happen here so far is still intact. Reynor a minute out. 3-3 starts. That's the next window. But Hive is also on the way, so Clem will continually have these windows. It looks like he doesn't feel comfortable pressuring with 2-2 finishing. He's going to secure his 5th, lock it down, and the real admission that we're going to go to the late game is if we see a Ghost Academy or a Fusion Core. Probably not for battle cruisers, but for that extra late game tech. Ghost not so great against Mutilating Bane. Yo, Clem. He loses some on the left side. Still somehow 200 supply. I'm not sure who that went better for. There's no Widow Mines up there, but if they actually get a shot, they could kill so many Banelings. Breaking through the wall. The Banelings hit by the mines. Are there enough reinforcements? The Mute is forced to retreat, going in towards the mineral line, splits the SCVs, drops heading out, but Reynor breaking through finds somehow only 4 SCVs, but Reynor not missing a beat. Thor caught out. Clem scrambling to defend. He actually doesn't even have enough supply depots to be maxed out right now, as he lost them in his wall. The drops heading out, trying to find an opportunity to counterattack like Reynor is so goddamn good at. Are there still those Widow Mines? There are, but they're actually on cooldown. They must have fired at the mutas earlier. But Reynor has a lot of economy. He's at 98 drones! Okay, calm down, Scarlet. Scarlet's on the other side, okay? Of the North American European bracket. Marines stimming through. Most of Reynor's army is committed. Essentially, Clem needs to kill bases. He needs to kill production facilities, which are hatcheries in this case. That is the most important thing to Reynor. With this much in the bank, but with this unit composition, he needs larvae. Oh, Widow Mine's finding okay connection. Somehow that medevac survived the spore crawlers up north. Most of Clem's army is back in his base. More Banelings coming through. The planetary itself trying to repair. It's so close. What a save. The drop comes through. More units are going to have to come out. The Queen not targeting. 11 SCVs have gone down. 3-3 is done. It's now Clem's time to shine. He's tearing through the creep. This base is essentially forfeit. The Banelings must be rebuilt. The upgrades are not there. Adrenal Glands is not done. He had to come back with some units. The base in the center of the map, Clem should get. But how much further can he go? He's got a maxed out army. He's got an upgrade advantage. He's got one very ambitious SCV repairing a burning planetary fortress. It will eventually get the job done. More Widow Mines. Find the Lings. The Muta's going for the planetary. Base is gone. No defenses. We're in a pseudo base trade scenario, but Clem retreats. Is that the right call? Or is it the only call?
Base is under attack.
It feels like a losing move. But
We could use some help here.
otherwise, you're attacking onto creep into mains. It's a very hard call to make. But getting into an unsupported base trade
Under attack.
against Reynor, who still has plenty of production, and Clem, what he's spending right now, what he's budgeting for, Reynor at 600 APM, he's budgeting for his attention. It's not his bases, it's not his economy, it's where can I micro? Or let the Widow Mines micro for me. And he can't risk having to micro on two desperate fronts with no economy behind it. I think that's what factors into his decision.
Gangway, coming through.
The Widow Mine's getting game-saving hits. Clem finds another command center and he slaps it down in the center. He's somehow driven Reynor and the creep back, but now we're going full HOTS trailer. Ultralisk on the way. Oh my god. That is so many banelings. Clem not intimidated. Splits. Lifts. Eats some hits on the command center. Loses 16 SCVs. He's down to 50. There's Burrow Banes as well. Finds, well, I think he saw the mutas coming in. There's a couple Widow Mines still intact. A little bit of splash damage. Another command center somehow. More banelings coming in. That's an awkward standoff. The Burrow Banes. The medevacs are out of energy. That's the sign of a very good or a very bad player. You make your decision on which one Clem is.
Command center upgrade complete.
Still plenty of creep. He can't, well, even if there are Burrowed Banes, how much could they even hit?
Command center.
The counterattack, a messy counterattack. A lot lost for either side, but it is Clem's base. Ultralists show up to the party uninvited, but they're here now and Clem has to deal with it. Falling back, picks up the Thors, holds the line at the third. The Banelings, did he just target Banelings or was that a happy accident? I think the second one. Meanwhile, though, the mutas are catching the retreat. Clem broken. He's lost on so many fronts. He got so close to pushing back. It's not over. I don't know. Remember, this started, the Ling counterattack that saved the game for Reynor. That's what he's built this all off of. And now it might be enough. The army supplies are near even. But I don't know if there's any amount of micro that saves this. The Widow Mines are on cooldown. There's just not enough bio. Clem's looking back for things to save him. There's nothing left. Has to fall back. The Banelings trying to eat the Banelings with the Thors. Not gonna have the time here. Stutter stepping. Incredible Widow Mine hit. Another orbital's gone. And with it, the rest of the economy. The Ultralisk chopping through. Sealing the deal. The finishing move. Because if Ultras are on the field for too long, it's a bad sign. But if they're on for just a couple minutes, it's probably a good one. At least for the Zerg. Clem somehow lives. Where's the Baneling mine? Let's go to the Reynor cam. A scan. That's the kind of scan like, I know. But what am I gonna do? Oh, sets up the moment Clem steps out with his last tenacious band. Reynor's Raiders come in and tear him to pieces. Match point. Well. No, Jimmy. Thank you to Dreamhack, by the way, for allowing us to take a look. And if you want to watch these games yourself, the replay pack is available on the Dreamhack SC2 Twitter. You can watch the official matches on their channel as well. But if you do enjoy my breakdown so far, give me your thoughts on the first-person cam. Like and subscribe and ring the bell. And is Zerg just too strong when you have over 500 APM? Is Terran too weak when you don't kill all of the drones? Will Clem overcome? Or will Reynor hold the line?
Hell, it's about time.
Game 5. No. Game 4. Reynor up 2-1. What struck me as a little awkward was Clem going into bio that last game. It felt like a bit of a reach. I get it. Bio is significantly more microable than most mech compositions. There's like the Cyclone Hellion battle mech. And honestly, in the past, Reynor struggled against mech. But Clem probably has the vast majority of his experience playing bio. Really knows all the bells and whistles and every button to press in which order. Which is all video gaming really is, right? Oh my god,
Command
Clem.
center upgrade complete.
It just didn't come together. The two games where Reynor has been allowed to get near 100 drones, coincidentally the ones he wins. Let's see the Reaper. How many kills? I'm pretty exhausted. I'm exhausted from just trying to follow these guys. Imagine playing. It's hard to. Oh, he just gets a lane kill. Okay. Third hatch. A lot of minerals. It's just for standard. Yeah. Okay. He hadn't gotten his orbital yet. What's it gonna be, Clem? Battle cruiser? I'm feeling battle cruiser. Battle cruiser does not seem like a Clem unit. He can't. Battle cruisers are the opposite of micro. That flying laser bathtub is gonna shoot whether you like it or not. I guess you can kind of tell it what to shoot at, but it doesn't feel like a unit Clem would favor. Liberator on the way. The minimalist early pressure. The only thing he could really add is an armory onto this. And the fact he got 2 gas early means probably gonna go down that road. We will see. No third CC as of yet. Clem, will he run by with the Hellions? Here comes the Overlord, snuck up on him again. I hate it when Overlords sneak up on me. So apparently you can wall off like that. Everyone take notes. That's kind of ostensibly what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to learn how to play. The problem is, I feel like both of these players are hard to... Like, they're not template players. I call players like Cyril, like Stats or Neeb, Innovation or TY are players that you can kind of copy. But there are players who just rely on being so good that do very... Like, the only reason their style works is because their micro is so good and their macro is near perfect. And those are like Reynor and Clem. Like, you can try to go to 100 drones while only microing a small amount of mutas and keeping Clem at bay. But I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know if it would work great for you.
Reporting for action.
Gangway coming through.
We're returning fire.
1-1 on the way. Reynor a little quicker this time around. Oh, the Hellions just run by. I'm not sure how many Zerg. Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's no queen. There's no queen in the wall. This is this is one of the more awkward situations. The Lings trying to hold the wall. Gonna sacrifice drones. Wait, how many drones? Wow, that's not very many. I would definitely say 0 is a relatively low number.
Add-on complete.
It should. Wow, how? How does that enhance? Jimmy. Oh, okay.
Command center upgrade complete.
If you say so. Well, that's not great for Clem.
Research complete. Add-on complete.
There's gonna finish up. Overlord speed pretty early this time. Not that I think he's gonna be scouting with it. I think it's just generally to have it. It's one of those housekeeping upgrades eventually you do want to get. Clem's at 54 to 74 drones. Brenda! Oh my god, they're yelling at us. Get out, get in the medevacs, boys. We're gonna switch to the Reynor cam to see how to defend perfectly every sort of pressure. Oh, he already has plenty of Zerglings out. Looks for this round. That's enough. It should be enough. He has 1-1 against 0-0. Yeah, without combat shields and without the upgrade advantage, the Marines aren't that scary yet. Once they get that, though. Is that a baneling drop loading up? Indeed it is. The Queen's leading the charge. Looking for the medevacs. A baneling drop is loaded up. Liberator shows up. Brenda, where are you going? What, Karen? I'm defending the 5th. There's no creep. I know. You go first. More drops coming in, but Reynor responds with drops of his own, not quite as explodey as Widow Mines. Those are the first 2 drone kills, and he almost dodged them. He was trying to dodge with the Spore Crawlers, which is something you can do. It used to be a lot more common. Reynor doesn't... Cool guys don't look at explosions, but Reynor likes explosions. There go 9 SCVs. Clem loses track of his medevacs. The knitting crew sews together murder. But the Widow Mines are still in the 4th base, I believe. I don't think Reynor has quite... Whoop. He missed 1 step. Keeping track of all this, suddenly Reynor's banking up 1,500 minerals. He doesn't have the larva because a lot of the queens were out on the map. So despite the damage being done to Clem and him losing those medevacs, Reynor isn't spending his money. It sounds pretty basic, because it is, but like, there's enough going on that Reynor's struggling to put enough units on the field to combat Clem's army. He's now starting to add more on. He's got a little more time for the injects. There's still one more Widowmine. The Zergling counterattack is shut down. Another Lurker Den. That's how much pressure Reynor is under. He's just going for double Lurker upgrades, obviously. No, he definitely forgot it. He feels the pressure here. Baneling speed. What? There's no Baneling speed? Oh, that's a huge mistake as well. You see, this is why people don't go for Baneling drops. You do one Baneling drop and everything goes to shit. Clem is standing his ground. The Widowmines sticking around. Great hits! The fadeaway shots. Finally, that Widowmine is dealt with. No, but really, though, this does feel like Reynor did one Baneling drop, and he lost track of the rest of his tech. And this is why you don't see, like, Burrow Banes. Cyril has said the reason you don't see Bane Mines is because they're just too distracting for the Zerg. Like, the risk to reward, the amount of attention to reward ratio, is only good for the fans. Circling counterattack, though, finds the fourth. Widowmines, eat Lurkers, transfuses, knit them back together for now, but energy used. And those Widowmines. Where's the detection? Reynor has the hive. It's done, right? Oh, Reynor's like, wait. No, that was 100% like, wait a second. Is that 2 Lurker Dens? Bullshit, Reynor planned that. No way he planned that. But how convenient. You saw the double take on the Lurkers. Like, on a 6 Lurkers on the way, though. We're definitely going Lurkers now. We're not screwing around with Mutarisks. Not this game. Last game, it was kind of a little bit of a desperation move after the Hellbats, but he's able to get his Lurkers. There are 6 bases. Clem pressing in. Widowmine's finding an opportunity. The Lurker's still dangerous. Especially, well, in danger, rather. Endangered without their range. Once they have range and the adaptive talons for the speed and the burrow speed, well, siege tanks are a lot less dangerous. But right now, without the creep, it's only really stopping the bio from stimming down the hatch, but it can't actually push back the attack reliably. Oh, well, here we go. The upgrade's finished. Surprise! Goes forward, edge of the creep, shreds the tanks. Clem losing a whole lot on the front lines. Down go the mines. Mines no longer a big threat if you manage the Lurkers well enough. Well, small threat, though. Definitely a small threat. A few drones go down, but Reynor holds all his base. Oh! The Lurkers. A lot of damage, but here comes Clem with the Terran surround. Does he have the bio to deal with this? The upgrades aren't great for the Lurkers. Reynor's just like, well, it's going to happen either way. He looks away for the injects. Clem finds the surround. A costly set of kills, but he does outflank the Lurkers and take them out. Just now getting concussive shells. This series taking a toll on both these players. It's been over an hour, almost an hour, if not an hour of gameplay now at casual 500 and 400 actions per minute. Do we have parasitic bombs? No blinding cloud at the last second there. Looking for that last Lurker, but he has to go through the blinding cloud. Devastating damage. Parasitic bomb. Clem micros back. Just in time. Reynor holding on. Let's go to the Clem cam. He lost another fight, but not for free. Reynor trying to drag the mines in, splits off at the last second. Clem retreats back. He's just building mines, marines, medevacs, and marauders. The M&M composition. But Widowmines start with a W. Nobody cares. Shut up. 3-3 is nearly complete. Adrenal glands just started. Both Lurker upgrades, of course, with that double Lurker Den strat. Adrenal glands is going to be a big factor for counterattacks, but in this army right now, it's all about the Lurkers. The Vipers have energy. Clem retreats back through the speed zones, but Reynor using them. The Lurkers, they just disappear into the ground, and the Spines a split second later show up to the party. Reynor refuses to go below 190 supply, as he immediately does so. Clem down to 160. He's got mining. He just doesn't have enough units. He's trying to microbio against Mass Lurker. And I don't know what other options he really has, but it's not working. He's losing the war no matter how many small battles he might be able to win. You can't. He has to. He gets caught up against the wall. Maybe tries to pick. Oh, no. Oh. The lurkers are shredding. He has to retreat. 130. Reynor still max. The swarm breaking through. Clem up against his base. The lurkers underneath it. The tank's broken. The bio battered. The SCVs calmly mining. And Clem up against the ropes. Halt.
Ready for dust off.
But Reynor still has so much. Like, you can't just sit back and reinforce. You have to try. There's not, like, there... Oh no, parasitic bomb. Switch too late. Another parasitic bomb. A couple unlucky Marines. Another Great Widow Mine hit. But the swarm
Ready for dust off.
is unstoppable. He slowed it down. But Clem, what do you do?
For dust off.
In the face of such numbers? What is the answer? Reynor's knocking. GG. WP. Good luck. Reynor. 3 to 1. It didn't feel that way. But Reynor's overwhelming Zerg outstrips Clem's pinpoint Terran. And it was well played. Every game a struggle for both sides. What a series. Well, I don't have much to add to that. Hopefully you learned something or were entertained. At the very least. Thank you, of course, to the players, to Dreamhack, and to you. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Don't let the local video autoplay. You can click on the... I have a playlist of all the pro games I've cast somewhat recently. Just over there. Thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun.